All right, everybody, I'm live. I'm here. I see people are chatting already. Excellent. I saw some people directing people here to the chat on YouTube because we're not chatting on the Patreon chat. So thank you. I see some names that I definitely want to say, want to talk to. I want to say hi to everybody. I'm grateful. Is everyone here, or is there connection problems? I saw that the count went up and then down as far as people here. Is everyone's connections good? Well, Bruce is here. Holly, Amy, Gina, Empress Pyra. Thank you. She's new. Let's see. Crystal, I know, is here. Catherine, awesome. I know Steph and all them are there, but they're not commenting on the... I know Valerie, everyone's commenting on the Patreon chat, I guess, because they can't get to the YouTube chat probably. All right. Makes sense. Makes sense. I understand. Kimberly Davis. So Kim is there on these other. I'm just switching back and forth. Susan, I definitely have a message to tell Susan and Gina. So remind me, I need to do that. So I want to make sure. Okay. Everyone's good. Mine's good. Good, good, good. Excellent. Okay. All right. Let me get on the computer. Be right back. All right. Yeah, I just don't want to. I want to make sure that the connection's good. If not, I'll just erase this link and I'll reset it for you guys. Okay. Okay. Real quick. Let me just do this real quick. So Gina, did you see the video, not the last one that I just posted, but the video prior? It was, okay, good. Thank you, Bruce says connection's great. But to Gina, did Gina see the video? Did you see the group session that I posted, Gina? Did you see that video? I want to make sure. So Gina, please respond if you can. I want to make sure that you did. Well, okay. So Gina, I don't know what happened, but she's either, if she's not, no, not all of it. Did you see the part where your son was mentioned? Okay. I just want to make sure that you saw that part where Isaac was mentioned. Okay, Isaac was mentioned, and he was mentioned earlier in the session. No, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You need to really watch. You need to watch the video that I just posted to YouTube regarding not the last one, not the one today, but the one right before that. And I don't know the title. I can't think of the title. Anyway, that's the one. It says, I think that the picture says spirits confirm God's existence. That's the one you need to be watching. Okay, because he comes through in the beginning, or his name is mentioned when I'm doing a session at home, and then validation that it says God saved him, and more was mentioned about him. So I want you to make sure that you saw that, Gina, because I didn't think you did, because if you did, you would have mentioned it. Also, Susan Moran's, I saw her comment on the Patreon chat, so she's over there. Let me just hit the refresh and see. I can't keep checking over there, but I'm going to just look real quick. I saw Susan. Anyway, for Susan, please make sure that you also check that same video I am saying. Not today's upload, but like a day ago's upload. The one that says God, spirits confirm God's existence. Susan, there's a very excellent validation for Jeremy or from Jeremy. It was mentioned. It was just your name was mentioned. It was very good. So I think there's something there where the connection I think is very good. So I wanted to just mention that. Okay, I know Christina saw her validation. There was some other acknowledgments from Spirit within the session for loved ones. Not exactly the greatest validations that are as good as I'd like them to be, but again, they were good. They were good acknowledgments, and I want to make sure that everyone, the patrons that are so much wanting to see, have those connections, see that. So anyway, That's all. So Susan and Gina, please go check that video out, the one that says spirits confirm God's existence. I have mentioned, or I've been thinking about, Randy, I want to just mention. So Randy sent me a message. Randy Fredrickson here, one of the patrons, he mentioned that, an idea of trying to get, do a session where there's people over the phone, or not, like, a little bit more of a personal contact, that it may help better the results in a group session, or in a, I got the cats in here, or in a private session. So anyway, this is what I think. The fact that I got a new box and I've been trying to work with it has really kind of set me back in time wise. And I didn't really have the time to do the private sessions as I would have liked to have done a little bit earlier in the month, as opposed to having more of them to now do in the end, at this time. Plus, I wanted to do more with the group session. So even though I got some good validations, it was a new box, though. You know me, I wasn't as satisfied with it, but yet there were good validations. I want more communication for other people as well. I don't want just like 4 or 5 patrons out of a 40, 50 patron group to get validation from spirit. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get rid of the $30 category. I'm going to finish them off this month, and I'd like to change it so that whoever wants, there'll only be the $5 and the $10. And the $10 is really everyone's in on the group session. Anyone that's on the $5 level is just coming on for these and any other content that I'm posting, other stories, and have access and whatever. I want to have more engagement with you guys. And so that's the point of that. I want to have more engagement, and I want to have a better, in a sense, private session. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to offer for any patron for $50. I'm going to call you. We're going to set a time like I would do with an intuitive reading. I'm going to set a time either during the day or at night. We'll contact either via Skype like this, a one-on-one, or we'll do it on our phones. Really, I'd like to possibly do a Skype thing, maybe with the computer or whatever, your phone. You can be on your phone. That's fine. And I'm going to have the box, and I'll have the DR60, and I will intuitively, and for the same amount of time as the 30-minute or the $30 private reading, I will do that as a 15-minute reading, and then I'll have to go and review it, put it together, edit it, and then get it to you. I think with you being on the phone and asking questions like I was doing with Claudia and Larry, I get better results. I think that's going to make, and then of course, anyone that wants a regular intuitive reading, I offer that. This is going to be done through, so it's a $50 session that you can purchase through, I hear fireworks outside, my website, which is, this is where you would do it. You would go to my website through PayPal. Let me just make sure it's here. Okay. So the website is, www.thechanneledlight.com. That is my intuitive psychic site. And you can pay for a $50 session through there. We will set a time, you and I, and not on the site, Steph. Steph's asking if you can write a review. Just send me a review if you ever wanted to send me a review, and I'll have it added to the site or whatever. But this is going to be good. So maybe not all. Maybe not all 12. I think I'm only offer like 8 of these a month to do. So anyone that wants to do them, it will be done like a regular reading, that I would do. I'm going to record it, the same thing as I would do with the private, but it's going to be with me doing the session. Okay, we're going to have a better result. Okay, now that's what that's going to do is that's not going to put the pressure on me with the 12 every month that I really need to do, or that I'm kind of obligated to do. And you've all been great about that. Some of you have said, don't worry about me this month. And I don't like doing that. Maybe we'll just roll that over till one of these sessions or something, but I'm going to take care of everyone the way that it was promised. So we're going to do that. That's what I'd like to do. And then I'm going to be able to focus more on the group session, where I may do 2 of those. Okay. I may do 2 of those. So I don't know, but I'm going to focus more on the group session. It'll be longer, more focused, and I won't have the other privates sessions to do in that way that I'm doing now, if that makes any sense. All right. Right. Also, Randy mentions that in one of the videos, Michael, I believe, said that he loves this. He likes it, that he wants to meet the patrons. And I thought that was pretty awesome. So that's going to take a little bit of pressure off me, allow me to engage with you guys more. I did have a patron leave, and I lose sometimes because of payment stuff and all. And I understand, I never care. But if I see someone, I just look at the reasons. And someone wrote, I wish he was engaging more with us. And I thought maybe I'm not engaging enough because through the posts and other things like that, I'm trying, because I'm working on the research and the videos and stuff. So trying to balance it out. So that's the news. So whoever's in the $30 section, expect that to change in the next couple days, and then we'll go from there. And anyone can just book with me through my site, and then everyone will just be in the $10 session. So hopefully I don't lose anyone over this. Hopefully everyone just downgrades their support to $10 into the $10 area. All right. If there's any questions on that, I don't know, but we'll just save that for, but not every month. Catherine's asking, so no 30, only a 50 whenever we want, but not every month. Yes, but I would ask that you just downgrade to the $10 and stay so that we can still do the group session as well. If that's, if I can keep you as a patron in that way. Because I don't expect you guys to do that every month. You get a $50 more intense, more focused private session. You may only want that, 4 times a year. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I wish I could just do it each month like that, but I think it's kind of a little bit difficult, and I don't want to ever phone any of that in. I need to do this the way that it's meant to be done, the way I feel it should be done. All right, so that's that. Someone's setting off fireworks, so I don't know if you can hear that. I'd like to talk about, these sessions that I've just did. The last video, not the one today, but the one prior, was me testing the boxes, or was me testing the new Soul Speaker, was me trying different things, trying settings that Steve gave me, trying settings that I knew that worked. Hey, Crystal Rose. I see a bunch of other, Lizzie, Kristen, Catherine, Bruce, all of them. Okay. I lost my, because I'm saying hi to everyone. Sorry. So testing the box, testing it with the Soul Speaker, getting weird results with the SCD2, not, getting some good stuff, but then not SCD1 not working at all. But then in other sessions, very strange. The PSB7 ended up working out to be one of my best pieces, and through getting responses, it was really interesting. And people did. I mean, I guess because I did some of those sessions late at night, I did them also where I'm trying to figure out like a puzzle. And so I look confused maybe, or whatever. Some people really thought that I was, angry and frustrated, and spirits didn't want to, they're not going to want to talk to me. And I don't know. And maybe I read into their comments a little bit too much. You know how I take it seriously. So, but I just needed to clarify that's not how it was, that it will work itself out. I know all is good. Just as that last message came through in that video, that God loves us all, I mean, that's awesome. But it is high expectation. Randy says it's just high expectation, and that's what it is. I've been getting amazing results for the last 7 years, and it's been really answering questions. And each one of these times I do this, these sessions are spiritual experiences, whether they're unpleasurable at times or very pleasurable, mostly very pleasurable and enlightening on some level. So I did feel compelled. A lot of people were asking for the cemetery session or another one. And I said, yeah. I said, I think it's a good day to do it. I went down there. Excuse me. I said my prayers. And I sat there and within, just a few seconds, I got a response. And then all of a sudden the DR60 stopped working. And it has this thing. It's like you can take the battery out. If you put it in or you want to check the file, it'll check the file, and it will say, it will say like if it's good or bad. It's like sorry. If it's bad, it was saying sorry, and I was resetting it the best I could, and it wasn't working. So what ended up happening was I ended up there was nothing I could do. I ended up going back to my hookah bar, and I ended up texting Steve, and ironically he said the same thing had happened. Very strange to him just a few days ago. And but it made me have to think about the fact that it's the inevitable. It's a cheap piece of electronics. It's going to go, and when it does, what am I going to be having to rely on? Well, I mean, this is definitely something to use and continue to rely on and get amazing responses. But for that type of back and forth that happens at that cemetery, there's just nothing like it, and to get that real-time conversation. And that's what that's about. So that's why that recorder is just so amazing. And so I become attached to it. I become attached to it. And so I know my guides want me to not, to use it, yes, but to not rely on it all the time, or to continue to keep checking in with them. And Jesus, for me, he's the ascended master I choose to communicate with or try to and do. So that session was really amazing. It's always a lesson at the cemetery. It's always some kind of amazing, just incredible, life kind of altering, or it's one of those things. It's one of those sessions normally that like each one of them leaves an imprint, like in the deepest part of your psyche, where it really matters. One of those things that you heard 20 years ago and it just resonated as truth. And it's just awesome, and to hear this person who I didn't know at the time was Bernadette, I guess, the spirit, talking about, hating her mom and she's a slut and all this. And it's resentment. And I guess I kept hearing nothing. I wasn't getting at, did you see the light? Have you seen anything? Has anything changed? And I felt like I wasn't hearing that in real time, those nothings and bless yous. And so I just needed to kind of go with it intuitively. And then eventually I just had to get out of the car, say my prayer, and just say, okay, Jesus, I'm putting it in your hands. And if it's meant to be. I thought it was pretty amazing that the two most amazing responses there were the fact that that she saw the light around me, my protection light, not the light to heaven, but of the same light, of the source light, the protection light, that she said, it's all around you. She goes, it's a good light, and it's a protecting light, and it's really bright, she said. And that, it was like, oh man. And we talk about, I put a protecting light over me, a bubble, but that was amazing for me. But I didn't hear that then. I only hear that in the review. And yes, and it does validate. Randy says it validates what your guides tell you. And it is, they do. And they tell you it. And then I get those types of validations through those kinds of messages that the other spirits saying. What was she saying about that? She saw Jesus in the garden. It's Jesus in the garden. It's Jesus in the garden. And then right after that is when I didn't hear that, of course, but right after that I said, I don't know. I'm just gonna ask, and I know Jesus is with me. And it really makes it literal, it's like, dude, this is real. This is real stuff. I mean, it's just so hard because as my guides are here and Jesus is with me and with you, and your guides are with you, probably listening or on some level understanding this, it's just real, and it's hard to understand sometimes the logic. We don't want to go insane. It's our egos trying to keep us from thinking we're going insane, and it's not, it's really opening up, becoming awoken, awaken, woke. I was thinking that's a term. Randy says her hate was holding her back. Absolutely. You know, in the 12 steps, it talks about we have to do a 4-step inventory to let go of all this and forgive the people that we have all these resentments to. And if not, we're not going to go anywhere. So there's truth to that, you know, there's really a lot of truth to that. So just an amazing session. And then once I finally let it go, I feel like she said she saw the light and she left. You guys have a couple questions and comments here, and I don't want to scan over that. I mean, I don't want to skip over them. So let me just look. Yeah, figuring out why she was stuck was the key. It was. That's what I have to do. It is kind of like a detective thing. Someone said that earlier, I think. Yeah, she needed forgiveness. It was faith. It's the only way we can get to where we need. Yes. Ego says I'm insane a lot. Yep, it does. You ever feel what they feel, Josh, like sadness, anger, etc.? You know, that's more of an empathic thing, and I do. I mean, sometimes it's like it's a clear cognizant feeling, like I just know it, or sometimes it is a feeling. It's very weird how the intuition works. You can, and I'll see it too, but when I'm in it, sometimes it's so subtle, I don't know how it's working sometimes, as opposed to when I'm focused on a reading. That's different. I don't know why. It's a little bit different. When I'm doing an intuitive psychic reading, I'm not listening to the box. I'm not trying to get a recording. I'm still able to do it when I'm doing the box work, but it's more focused when I'm doing a reading. So, yeah, I could feel their feelings. I mean, I could feel it, not all the time. I was so moved by that. It rang too close to home for me. Yeah, I have mommy issues sometimes. That was my favorite part. Jesus in the garden. Yeah, the Jesus in the garden. I mean, that's another sighting. That's another Jesus sighting. He was just like hanging out in the garden, and she's just like, he's here. And he's just like, I'm here, ready for you whenever you want. But maybe she wasn't ready. She needed to forgive her mom. So she saw him prior to having to forgive her mom. And that's wild. Yes. Oh, Kim says the video is powerful to watch. Thank you, Kim. Glad to have you here. I know you're on the Patreon side trying to comment, probably. I'm an empath, so that's why I felt so powerfully. Holly, exactly. Woke. Woo, the angels behind me this week. Have a strong. Jesus around the corner. Yes. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm just looking. Yeah, so that was I'm gonna keep trying to go out there. I try to balance from going out to the cemetery to doing the at-home work. They're very different sessions, very different, very powerful energy in that cemetery. Also powerful energy here, but in a different way sometimes, you know. The way they communicate at that cemetery is definitely different there. I don't know how they figure it out or what. iPads. Josh, Patreon iPads, top right is 3 dots. Hit that, hit desktop, and it will let them see the comment, see and comment. Okay, so thank you, Crystal. That is great. They are stuck. People are stuck. Randy says the cemetery is like batting practice for me. It definitely. I love to be able to counsel and go through it, you know. And if I'm not able to make the connection as a conversation and understand it word for word, or, you know, for the most part, then I can't get into where the problem lies. And that's where the frustration sometimes. But, you know, it's a great place to do it. Let me just see something real quick. I want to make sure that people I don't know if hold on. Let's see. I just want to make sure people on Patreon are kind of on the chat there. Yeah, I don't even see. Okay. I'm going to close that, actually. All right. Someone's asking a question here. What's up? Let me see. I'm a bit stuck. Someone's stuck. Okay. I feel bad for the connections. That's YouTube. I don't know. There's really nothing I can do. I feel bad. Yeah, Steph says that I'm real in my videos. That's the goal for starting the page and starting this, was to be honest with you guys and show it. So sometimes you're going to see me be just a regular a-hole, whatever. Just have, I'm just whatever, because I'm going through stuff. This is so humbling. Sometimes I feel like I've got this amazing thing, and then sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. And that right there keeps this thing balanced for me. Let's see. Back on the grind live. You're amazing. Thank you. Lisa, thank you. I love you too. Empress is stuck. I'm hoping that you get free. I love to see you help them cross. It's so moving. Kristen, thank you. Yeah, it's like doing really intense one-on-one work and with a soul. And it didn't matter if they're in a body or not. When I do work with someone who's alive, it's the same feeling I get, a little bit more when they're on the other side, because I know how significant it is and how rare that kind of communication is. I don't know how to frame or compose the best question. You can ask whatever you want, Empress. If someone crosses, Gina's asking, if someone cross, can they still come back? And yes, they can, Gina. Yes, they can. My guides are talking through the DR60 and they have crossed. So yes, Gina, absolutely. We can have communication with our loved ones after they've crossed. They can come back. Spirits, I don't think, know that when they get stuck or when they don't want to cross because of fear. So I don't think every spirit knows that. I'm curious how people who come through seem to have lost their light, and maybe the living still have their light. Well, I think the living have a stronger energy field because of the body. I think the body definitely is bringing in, and there's things that are, it's just a stronger energy field, Kat. But I think that we can lose our light too. If I'm an asshole all the time and being a prick, like when I was on drugs and alcohol, and I'm very little light probably was visible to in that realm. When they, like, as today they said, the light's all around you, it's bright and all that. I mean, I probably had my protection, my angels still, who was trying to keep me, because I should have been dead a million times. So we know that our angels are still with us in a sense, but it says, anger, resentment, and fear really being, that's the root of all that, cuts us off from the sunlight of the spirit, sunlight of God's spirit. So I have been stuck for a long time, getting loose now though. Okay, good, Holly. Want you free. Alan Kim, I think, okay. My connection has been fine the whole time. Lucky, I guess you are lucky, Bruce. You're a lucky guy. You're a good guy, man. Human, you mean? I am human. Amy, yeah, well, yeah. I'm just having a human moment. We all have, let's see. Crystal, yeah, okay, let's see. I'm glad you were real and honest. That's it. That's the only way to do this. I mean, it's just do it honestly and put it all out there. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. Crystal Rose, she's new, and I'm just welcoming all the new patrons, and I'm grateful. We're just going to keep growing. I've got some big plans. I'm going to let you guys in on kind of what I'm planning on doing, or the goal. The goal's kind of listed on the Patreon page, but I'm going to just mention really quickly that once I hit about 200, almost 200 patrons, I'm going to have a separate site that is going to be like, it's going to be kind of like this, but a little bit better. I think it's not going to be through Patreon, and I would like to have you guys come over to this new format where I'm going to kind of work with Steve on it on some level, and try to expand it and make it more of like a network, more aligned with what we all want here. And and so that's it may show some other people's stuff too, but it will still be a subscription thing, and I'll still probably do a group session and offer the other sessions and things like that. But it's going to be more of like a subscription based, kind of like Hope Netflix in a sense, kind of, but where we could still do this interaction and have that. I think that's where that's going to go. And I'd like to try to build that up so that we can have a bigger community and have a stronger, because this is about the message and reaching others and helping others in this realm and in the next. And, I'm starting to get a little bit more supported doing this work, where it's allowing me to spend more time doing it, So I think that's great, and that's the goal. And I wanted to just put that out there and let you guys know a little bit more about that. So I'm building a new site, building a new platform for that. That's happening. I'm trying to come up with some other ways to kind of stay engaged and connected with you guys. Thank you, Crystal. That was a long-winded whatever I was just saying. So did you have one or two spirits at the cemetery? I'm confused now. I don't know. I don't know. Crystal, it's a great question. In that video, I don't know. Bernadette, and she was crossed, and the man you didn't get the name. I don't know if it was just Bernadette the whole time and that she saw. I felt like I was feeling someone that did get help, but then it's confusing. I don't know. What I got was and so but it's a really perceptive question, because I really didn't. I thought the same thing and didn't know. I appreciate your honesty and transparency. There's so many who aren't in doing this work. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, well, that's all I can do with everyone here, is just be honest. That's what I owe you guys. Did you see Steve's last group session, the short clip of the group session? I did not. I didn't see. I don't see much of Steve's group sessions because I'm not on his Patreon. Light and love are the same thing, Randy. I think it's the exact same thing. That's what I also thought, Crystal. Man, spirit and with mommy issues. Yeah. Note to all, close your Patreon window behind the YouTube. It helps. Oh, okay. Yeah. Bernadette. Just my angel's always crying. That's funny, Lizzie. Let's see. Just making sure I'm answering questions if you guys have them. Yes, the community is growing, Randy. It is. I'm grateful. Do you think it is possible another spirit could have been trying to stop you, and that is why the DR60 stopped working for that time? It could. It could. Tracy's also asking a question. It happened once here, something like that. Not that extreme, but it kind of stopped and kind of went weird for a minute. And I remember when I got it back working, they were like almost not frantic, but they had like a louder voice. Michael was, if someone said, is it broken? I said, no. I said something like, no, it's fine. And they said, oh, good, or something. I don't know. So I don't know. Someone could have messed with it. Tracy asks, what do you think about the new app, Necrophonic? I've seen good things. I've seen responses come through. Steve tested it. I just haven't gotten around to using it. I'm trying to whittle things down to what really work and have less things as opposed to 9 different apps, because then I got to turn on 9 different apps in a session because I get OCD and I'm thinking I got to try each one. What if I didn't turn that one on and it would have worked better? I'm trying to just so I'll test with it probably. I don't know. I finally got around to getting the Spiritus and using that, and I've gotten great replies with that. I'll have to try it. Yeah, it did. It said your name, Tracy. Okay, so I'm gonna probably get around to trying it. You'll probably see me trying it. Do you have any words of wisdom for Kim? She just started this. Well, I mean, keep seeking, Kim. This is the type of thing. The more we think of some kind of source, higher power, God, Buddha, Jesus, whoever your higher power is, the more we're on that frequency, the more we're on that vibration, the more light does come in, the more positive other beings we're attracting. So that's all I have right now. I'm going to try. Okay. I saw Billy on both channels, right? Has Billy's spirit the Billy spirit been here too? Yeah, Billy's been come through my both sessions. I mean, or he's not today, but he came through on the testing sessions both times. And I don't know. And then I did get mischievous at one point. I haven't heard what's his name. I won't even say his name. The Ohio guy. I haven't heard his name in a while, which is good. Yeah, I don't know about Billy. He's probably, I don't know if he's good or bad. You know what? I'll tell you. I asked about it, and I just said his name, so screw it. But I asked about them and I asked about someone else, the other bad or whatever spirit, and I asked, and you know, they were like, "Oh, I guess." They were saying like, "I guess," but it's really not a big deal. Like they were like, my guides were like, "Who cares? All right, so what? Like they can't harm you." Kind of feeling was, yeah. I knew you guys would laugh at that. I didn't want to say his name, and then I said it. Great, thanks. You caught that. All right. What else do I have on my list? Let's see. Nothing. Yeah, I do smile a lot. I smile a lot. I don't smile a lot in my videos because it's not a joking matter. You know, I could smile here. This is allowed. All right. Let's see. We've gone 35 minutes. It is serious. It's very serious work. UN numbers 3333. All right, so I found a sweet spot, and I marked it with Nikki's nail polish. So let's see, the air is off. So let me do this now. For my approved guides and spirits, I would like to know if you have a message at all for the patrons.
For my approved guides and spirits, I would like to know if you have a message at all for the patrons.
That was really drawn out. I think hello or something. Just one or two things. They appreciated the wanting to meet them comment that was said. I don't know exactly if that was Michael or who, but just wanted to acknowledge you and say thank you in front of the patrons, and all the work that we are doing together is great. Let me see if I can let me tweet this here. See. Is there anything that you would like to say to them that I can review? Hope it's not yelling or that loud. That's a significant response. Broken now. I'll play that again. It is pretty clear, Crystal. You're right. It's crystal clear. I don't know what they're saying. I need to listen to it in my own zone. Thank you. That feels positive. It sounds good. It sounds very clear. It sounds like I'll be able to make it out. Oh, Valerie. Oh, good. You made it over here. We're going to close this out. So just a closing thought. Anything else? A good night, whatever you want to say. Okay, I think that's it. I hope it's not.
Closing thought, anything else, a good night, whatever you want to say. Closing thought, anything else, a good night, whatever you want to say.
Kind of got loud at the end. That's because they were he was trying to push the energy up to say it. Setting's got to be in the perfect sweet spot. What are we saying here? Let me see before I close this out. Oh, Empress wanted to ask a question. Please ask the question. Yes, Empress. And there is no, and Steph's right. There's no stupid questions. This is about feeling free to be able to ask whatever you want, talk about whatever you want here. Yeah. So just, what is it? Good night, Crystal. Is there a question? Am I missing it? Let's see. Yes, there was a response, Lizzie. It was great. I'm gonna review it and I'll post whatever I get captioned on what I just recorded on the Patreon page. So I'll post it for everyone. But yeah, I just want to ask. Okay, so a line of yours keeps popping up in my head. A God of your understanding. Even God feels like a label to me. That's fine. I understand that. I get that. That is something I was struggling with. Having a relatable structure, concept with an openness to all other interpretations, experiences, and approaches. See, this is good. I'll stay on for another couple of minutes and talk about this. Anyone else that wants to duck out because it's getting late, I understand. But I want to address that. Empress is asking a really good question. I say, a God of your understanding. This is good for any soul to understand this. This is very important. It is a good question, Holly. It's a great question. We all have different gods. Meaning, okay, all of the ancient texts, all of, like I've said, the Bhagavad Gita, the Torah, there's so many different teachings that talk about that just God is everything. And if we understand that, there is no separation. Higher power. I see the word, yeah, higher power. God is everything. I'm you, you're me. This is an illusion. It's like, it's weird. I don't want to get too deep on you, but everything you see and touch, it's God. Even the people that do bad things, that's still a part of God. And I know that's really hard to understand sometimes, but there's no separation. And so what I'm saying is this: anyone can believe in a higher power of their understanding, and it should be allowed for you to find and come to that understanding on your own. Source. Forget the word God. It's just a word. Forget it. You can call him, she, it, whatever you want. Because when you make some kind of willing approach to that higher power, it's going to respond. It's inevitable. It's going to respond. And the great I am, our soul is God, is right. That's right. God is in everything and everyone. Valerie is exactly right. God is in all things. That's exactly the case. You can't have anything without him. He's created it's everything. He's in everything. It's atoms. He's everything. God and science, there's no separation. They are together. This is what I'm coming to understand. And it is about the light. I want to show you guys something. I haven't showed you guys this. Someone showed me this. Some of you probably have heard of this or seen this. If you haven't, you need to check this out. I was going to post this the other day, and this is great to end on. We should try this one day. I don't know if we should do it tonight. I don't feel like doing it tonight. Someone asking something else that I'm missing. Knowing that's the focus. Yeah. Just the whole thing is, Empress, to answer your question, is that as long as finding a power greater than ourselves is just kind of coming to an understanding that the wind is blowing and we can't see it, and that there's a chance that there's a God out there or a higher power, not a ruling old man with a white beard, but something that we can connect to, source. And if we can do that, that relationship can grow. And that, I think, is really great. Gina asked a question. Hold on. Shoot. Gina, do you think God still loves his son Lucifer? And will he ever forgive him so we can all be at peace? I've asked a question about this before somewhat, and I'm going to tell you something that God couldn't do his work without that. There's just there's a balancing. I don't know. There's a balancing to it the way it was described. I don't know if that war will come to an end or what, or that those souls that are the ones that have stayed faithful or done what they have needed to do to stay in the light, get taken to a different place or whatever that is. I don't know. But there's some kind of balancing with that. But I think that he does. I think God is all forgiveness, non judgment, all compassion. And if we can understand what that means, that's wild. All right, I got to get off here, but I want to show you this one thing here. Hold on, let me just make sure. Man, that's right. There is no male or female with that. God, I don't believe there's a sex thing at all. Okay, so let me just show you this. This is someone showed me this the other day. It's called, that's a sound. Hugh. It's a sound. That's how you pronounce it. And this thing is called a simple spiritual exercise, Eckankar. I've never heard of it. Maybe kind of similar to Kabbalah in a sense. But I went to the site the other day and I scoured the whole site, and holy cow, very interesting. Maybe not to join their religion and get into all their, but this is very amazing. Check out the site and go look at what they are. They just believe in love and light, and that God is light, and that we have to call in the light. They believe in the past life. They believe. You've really got to check this out. You can't see it? All right, well, I don't know what to tell you here. Let me see. Maybe I'll post a picture of it. I'll post the link here. This is the website. What's it called? It's called Eckankar. Here, let me just put the website up for you guys. Hold on. And then I got to get out of here. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Work. Okay. Check it out, guys. Really, really amazing. I'm going to look into it more because I think they're onto something. I think they're really onto something. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'm going to send all the $30 people a message privately so we can figure out that whole thing. And I don't know. That's it. Good night. Love you all. Thanks.